We're taking an opportunity to catch up with some of the best and brightest signal callers across the state of Texas with our series QB1, presented by our friends at GoRout. And here to talk about their QB1, the Leander Rouse Raiders. We're joined by Coach Joshua Mann and their QB1, Mason Shorb. Guys, how are you?
Doing great.
Yep.
Excellent. Coach, I want to start with you. You've been a guy you've seen great quarterbacks throughout the course of your career. It sure seems like you've got a special one sitting to your right. What is it about Mason that really stands out to you as your quarterback?
Oh, man, it started early watching him as he came up through the youth organization and middle school, but definitely when we started playing in 7-on-7 leagues, just his drive and competitiveness, and then his willingness to learn. I mean, he's never stopped. He's constantly trying to find ways to improve himself, but then in the way he picks up and leads our team, I mean, he keeps the defense engaged. You know, when we have a struggle, he's out there the first one on the field to shake the defensive hand. Don't worry, we got your back, or keep it going. We're going to get it back. You know, he's just his fierce competitiveness just throughout all that process. And then obviously he can throw the ball around a little bit, and does a great job with that as well.
Mason, where do you feel like you've improved? I look at tape and I think you've really taken a step forward in your progression. Where do you feel like you've improved as a quarterback over the course of your career?
I feel like over the past few years at Rouse, like I've improved my thinking quicker and making reads a lot faster, along with a lot of good footwork, moving in the pocket. You know, I'm not always going to get the beautiful 7 to 8 seconds of protection. I have to move around every now and then. I've gotten a lot better at moving around my feet, working those drills every day in practice, and really just keying in on my reads and knowing where I have to go. And if it's not there, go to plan B. And if that's not there, go to plan C. And I just stay on the court.
Coach, I know that you guys utilize the GoRout system there at Rouse. Can you tell me a little bit about how it has helped you guys maybe practice more efficiently and more effectively?
Absolutely. I mean, we went to it 2 years ago, and I mean, the results have been pretty, we've done a pretty good turnaround going to it, but it's helped us so much in practice as far as being organized in practice, getting the amount of reps we can get in practice, whether it's going from goal line situations, red zone, just to the common scout team. But it really is utilized to having more coaches coaching versus always having that designated coach that's got to sit in the scout team huddle and get those guys lined up and get this guy out of the huddle and break and that force. So it allows him to send the play and just coach. So the kids are just looking at, their wristband and they're moving on to the next play. The thing too, especially from the defensive side, being able to simulate tempo. We see so many offenses today, no huddle tempo. And, I've done everything under the book to try to create a tempo scout team, 2 huddles, 1 huddle, get a play from here, run over to another direction. Now we can just go as fast as almost what you would see in a game because we can get those plays in as quick as possible. And then from an offensive standpoint, it's been really fun because now we can simulate game situations by sending in a play, having them be able to run different stunts on the D-line without calling out the name of the stunt. Offense tackle, hey, watch this, here it comes. Like, they already know what's coming out. Guys can look at the GoRout. They can see what the stunt is. They can see where to roll the coverages to without us out there just slowing it down and screaming at them. And it's really made our scout team guys appreciate practice. They're getting better reps because they're not getting yelled at because they didn't look at the card right. They have their own individual device, and it's gained us, so much time back. And we're getting anywhere between 100 and 110 reps at practice a week, a day. And that's really been a huge advantage for us.
So I think it's safe to say you would recommend GoRout to other coaches.
100%. Especially if you're on the defense side, if you're not using it, I think you're really falling behind.
Mason, I want to ask you a little bit about utilizing it because you're the guy who's kind of in the mix, utilizing that system. What's it like? Give us the player's point of view of being part of the GoRout program.
So actually our scout team uses it, so it really helps us move a lot faster. So the offense will go in and we'll get the play call from coach, and then we'll have another coach send the GoRout play to the defensive scout team players, and we can get a lot of reps. Like by the time the coach calls the play, the play will be sent to the scout team, and we'll be ready to run the next play. Like it's very, very fast, and it's very helpful to get us a lot of reps and help us perfect these plays in practice. And it's really cool to see like all the young guys, they get to use it. And I've never really got to use it, but it looks like a cool deal.
Let me, Coach, let me ask you about, the Rouse program. This is still a relatively, in the grand scheme of things, young program. Here you guys started in 2010, but the rise has been pretty meteoric. What do you think has been the biggest difference? What do you think has been the biggest difference maker to get you guys from, a nascent program, a program just starting, to where you are now, which is, a perennial playoff team, a perennial contender?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Been very blessed to be here, and Leander Rouse since 2005. Was Cedar Park 3 years there, and then got to open the school in 08. And then, like you said, play our first varsity season in 010. And we had a couple of rough years to open, and we kind of had some runs where we made some semifinal, quarterfinal appearance. And then we kind of got in a rut there in the middle. And the biggest challenge has been, we've been every year realignment. We've been constantly moved. We have never been in the same district back to back. Any realignment season. And, we were playing some of the greats, when you got Cedar Park and Vandergrift, Lake Travis. We've been in the district with all those guys, the Round Rocks. So that's made us better. But here lately, it's been the consistency. We finally have gotten from, a school opened up near us, Glenn, and took a lot of our school away. We're now kind of reopening the school, I think, for the second time. And we're now getting back to where we kind of have a zone around us. We kind of know who our kids are in and out each year. And it really started with, this senior class and this junior class that's really carried us last two. They've set an expectation standard in our program now, where our freshmen now for the 3 years in a row have won 9+ games, and they're coming into Rouse with an expectation, not just what's this going to be like. And, we're anxiously waiting to see what realignment will come out here in December, and, see if we're going to be, I think we're going to be right on that line between the D1, D2 cutoff, and we'll see what that goes. But I like the consistency that we're getting steadily out of our system, and our feeder programs are not being split as much between middle schools. We've been unfortunate on that end not to have a consistent feeder pattern. And now we're starting to get that, which everybody knows in the state of Texas. You don't have that consistent pattern coming in and then a high level of expectation. It's hard to get it going. We're just now, I think, starting to tip that iceberg where we can take this program.
Well, Mason, you're just a junior. You're a guy who's got another year left there at Rouse. We talked a little bit earlier about how much you've improved. Where do you think, what's the next step for you? What can you improve on that can really take you from being an already excellent quarterback to that next level?
Really taking these younger guys under my wing, like all these younger receivers, because now I have senior receivers playing and they're going to be gone next year. So I have to really focus on getting these young guys in and going up in the summer, definitely coming up to the field and throwing a few passes almost every day, like I did with the other guys when I was a sophomore, and then making sure they all stay where they're supposed to be. Like right now when we're in school, just stay focused on your grades, because it's going to be important next year, and I don't need to be babysitting you all the time. And I just really need to make sure they grow up a lot faster than the other guys in their grade are going to. If they're going to play up on the next level, they got to grow up quick.
He's Joshua Mann and his QB1, Mason Shorb from Leander Rouse. Guys, appreciate your time. Congratulations on a great season so far, and look forward to seeing what you guys do down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Raiders.